Hello, welcome to this McBoss Capital channel. My name is Michael Chu. Today we are going to talk about how the stock market is hitting new record high right now in 2021. Today is July, as of July 9th. All information shown here are for informational purpose only. I'm not a registered investment professional. These are not investment recommendations. As usual, we are focusing on sharpening our skills. We're going to talk about what to buy, when to buy, what kind of industries and stocks to look at, what's the general market direction that can signal a buy. We're going to start looking at the general market. This is NASDAQ chart. So we're going to look at, say, from 2 weeks ago, we have this 4 days up. And then on Friday it dropped slightly, so that's a very bullish signal. And then the week after it has 2 days up, and then on Wednesday it was down. So again, Thursday, Friday it shot up to new high again. So again, another 4 or 5 days up. So very strong pattern here. This recent week we have 2 days here that's slightly up. And then on Thursday, we had a test on this is the 10 days moving average, the green line, and it dropped almost close to its 21-day moving average. So, you can see that as it moves up, it does test the 10 days. And then this one is the second time now. Well, like let's consider this batch here the first time, and now we are at the second time pullback. But it did rebound on Thursday, so that's a very bullish signal because of it happened even on the same day, so it didn't even happen on the next day to rebound. So it just showed that there's lots of buyers still, and then on Friday, notice how it recovered, and only notice where it closed. Right, it actually closed at a new high. So once again, the market is in a very strong bullish trend. So this is a really good sign. The next one we're gonna look at is S&P 500. We have pretty much similar pattern here. So here, 2 weeks ago, more than 2 weeks ago, to be exact, like exactly 3 weeks ago, we have 4 or 5 days up, and then the next 5 days was completely blue here, which signified it was up 5 over 5 days, hitting an all-time high right here. And then we saw a small pause here. So, after July 4th, Independence Day, July 5th, Tuesday, we had, a slight down day. Wednesday it came back up, but Thursday, did the same thing as the other index, which was testing the short-term moving average, which is the 10 days here. So notice again, excuse me, how it actually close, rebound and close at the top. And then on Friday, once again, look at where it closed. It actually, oops, sorry, let me go back. Press the wrong button. Okay. Yeah, on Friday, notice where it closed, and it closed again at the top here, right? So again, hitting another all-time high. So both S&P and NASDAQ are showing really strong signals right now. So 2 weeks ago we already start mentioning this. The market is broadening to more stocks, many stocks and groups. And the key here, as we will show you, that you want to look for strong uptrend in the stock with the short-term 10 days moving average trending upward. So most stocks are either building the right side of a base, that they came up from a consolidation, and maybe already broken out of the consolidation. So a couple of groups we're just going to look at is enterprise software and security software. Both of these are showing extremely great strength right now. So want to pay attention. So tax, NASDAQ in general has has been doing well. But again, I don't want to undermine S&P 500, so that group is also doing well. Um, so but yeah, let's just jump to it. So let's look at software security group. So here's so let's look at the group in general so that we can see what it's doing. So we see this big correction earlier in the year from February, March, and then again in April and May. And now we're starting to rise on the right side right here. So here's the pattern. And on this right side, we can see this strong uptrend, and you can see this 10-day moving average just continue to climb, right? And now we saw a little bit of sideways consolidation here, right? So it's just moving to the side now, and it's doing really well. Um, and it may continue to go again, right? So that's what we hope for, and eventually it will break out of this previous high here. That's the potential uh, outcome here, assuming it does break out of this huge base. So on this uptrend, we are seeing these small red days. Those are down days, and you can see like when I put the arrow here, that means they're usually pulling back either on lower volume, which you can see here on lower volume, right? Here is another day, and you can see it is lower volume than the previous day, right? So, and especially when the volume is above the average, um, the moving average right here. You see, this is the volume that is the average volume for the last 50 days. So in this day, you see how low the volume is. So those are good signs. And right here, we saw a huge push again to a new high right here uh, on this trend. And then as it comes to here, we see us again, more volume jumping. So this is the volume right here, but it is sliding down. So on the red days, right? And then more recent, like just this recent week, we saw more volume came up. So you can see that right here. So there is turbulence, in these 2 days. And then on Friday, it rebounded like the market did. So there may be a lot of people taking profit at this point. They bought it around here. The question is, will it continue higher? It's hard to say, at least from this chart. So we're going to jump to the individual charts to see what the trend look like. So here's a really nice trend, right? So again, if we look at the 10-day moving average, you can see this is the trend right now. If we extrapolate that, um, you know, and it did that on Thursday. It actually dropped below this trend line, but it actually closed at the top, right? So the trend line is still intact, right? With this, the last time it did pull below here was this day. And so let me just kind of track the price here. So on this day, notice where this volume is. Look at that volume. It's so low. Um, and let me draw it out right here. So it's right there. It's so low that um, it did test the 21 day, but it on the next day it really just push up, like it gap up, right? And went back up above this trend line. So that's something that you want to pay attention to on the uptrend is what happened during those down days. Are they actually lower volume? Because if it's really significantly lower volume, it just means that no one wants to sell, right? Like the selling is drying up, and that's the action we saw on the next day, which is this really strong day right here. It actually gap up and close way above the trend line, and also make a new closing high right here, right? So anyhow, this is for this specific stock, but the trend line is there. The next stock we want to look at is DocuSign. Now this same pattern here. It has this correction, and we're building the right side of the base. It has starting to come to the right side right here, and we draw the trend line. We see very similar action here. So we have this So this one mimic more like the industry group. So it has a strong uptrend here. It's kind of consolidate a little bit. It's still trending upward, but it's consolidating a little bit here. So and again, we are seeing the volume drying up on the selling. So for example, even on the most recent days here, on Thursday and Friday, look at that volume. It's drying up, right, as it goes down. So again, it shows that people are unwilling to sell. This is really good signs for this stock. So next one we'll look at is Dynatrace. Again, all these are in the software enterprise group. So again, this one looks like it has broken out and now it's climbing up on the right side of the base. Again, we draw this trend line across this 10 days moving average, and we see similar patterns. So this is rising, and then it's still rising. It's just slightly less slope here. So again, so on Thursday, we saw a selling day here out of the whole week, and the volume is lower than average. So that's a good sign. The last one we're gonna look at is Cloudflare. So once again, follow the 10-day moving average. It's climb out of this base here. 95.77 is the buy point, and then it kind of the slope. Again, same thing. It's not going up as fast, but hopefully after this consolidation, we want to see it moving up in a fast pace again. But look at the volume here; it's very low, especially compared to here. So despite on hindsight, it might look like, oh, there's not much buying, there's not much selling, but overall the market was under turbulence this recent week. So and notice how again there's just not many people wanting to sell, right, on those down days here. There's only one down day here, so that's a really good sign that people are holding on. um, Another subtle sign here that I noticed is this closing where it closed. Look at how tight it's closing right here, where the close price is. Again, it just shows that in order to have really tight closing price, it means that someone is, really controlling the shares, meaning they're most likely not selling. So if it would be selling, you will see volatility happening, so that's a good sign that people are in general are really holding this stock. Okay, we're gonna jump to the security group. We have been following this group for a while now, and it continued to show strength. So again, we see this is the group chart and comprised of all this security software stuff. And we did see this uptrend here, and then here it kind of slight the slope is a little bit less, but it's still in the uptrend. So we're hoping the same thing happen here, which is there's a little bit of consolidation right now this week. So hopefully it will start rising faster again. And we do notice, on Thursday, uh, as a group, on the down day, as the general market did, look at on the Thursday where that volume is. It's drying up, right, on the sell day. So again, for a turbulence week like this week, for the volume to dry up on the selling day, that's really, showing really strong moves. So we're gonna jump to the individual stock. CrowdStrike, you can see as it moves up, it is it does have those down days. However, you can see all those arrows are pointing to those down days and their lower volume. Um, and then it encounter one, what I call distribution day, which is selling on slightly higher volume. But this this one we take it with a grain of salt because it's so low the volume. So even though it was higher than the previous day, but the volume is so low compared to the moving average, it's hard to decipher is it actual selling or just a day where not much action is happening. And then we see this slope continue again at a much lower slope. So it's still rising, but it's just at a much lower slope. And again, on Thursday, you can see the volume is actually lower than the previous day. So again, we are seeing this uptrend may continue, and that's a nice something to watch for. Mimecast, again, this stock has been running for a while since this we did draw this trend line here for the early potential buy point at this level. And ever since you can see the 10-day moving average has been sloping upward, and the stock is able to stay above that trend line until right here. It broke that trend line, but there's a 3-day drop here, and that's where I draw this 3-day drop line here. So potentially you might have taken some profit here, and keep some. So depends on how you want to trade. I generally I most likely have taken half my position here, so I still have half position, and now it has come back up for 6 days in a row now. So again, so the trend, so here's the 10-day, it flattens, and then now it looks like it's on this slope again. So something to watch for. It's still early in this space because as you can see, this is the previous high. So it could have a way to go to catch up to the previous high and maybe even go higher. The last one we're going to look at is Fortinet. We've been following this for a while now. It's just, again, this is probably the best stock in the group. It has shown tremendous uptrend. You can see this uptrend started much earlier this year, January, February, where this is the huge base, right? And it broke out and it just climbs. And then you can see this pullback here, and climb, pullback, climb, and then pullback, climb. This one's a little bit messy right here, as it and then here's the trend line that has been going strong. So since the, so overall, you can see there's not much distribution days. Like there's one here, right, on this down day where it's a higher volume. But even more recently, again, the volume right here on Thursday, that was the day where market pulled back quite a bit and rebound. And look at that volume. It's just not many people wanting to sell that day. So people are still holding on in general. So that means there's potential for the stock to go up more. So thank you for watching this video. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Give us thumbs up if you like this video. And you can contact us at this email. Thank you.